Oh, hello there. My name is Seth Shostak, and I've been asked to say a few words of welcome to this second symposium on electronic art. Now, you may be wondering why I'm coming to you via this low-resolution electronic medium rather than standing behind the customary lectern. Well, there are a number of advantages. To begin with, I don't have to be there. Beyond that, the organizers are spared the unpleasant costs attendant upon my flesh and blood presence. Beyond that, my wardrobe is spared the attack of any overripe vegetables, which you may have brought along for ballistics practice. But such irrelevancies aside, I've been asked to say a few words about Groningen. First, because Groningen has traditionally been in the forefront of computer imaging here in Holland, and second, because many of you may not have heard of this exquisite locale until you tried to find it on a map a few weeks ago. Now, I came to Groningen quite some time ago, before the Crimean War, I believe, to work at the university here. At that time, the Netherlands was operating the world's largest radio telescope at Westerbork. It's about 30 miles south of where you're sitting right now. I studied a lot of galaxies using that telescope and devoted quite a bit of time to reducing the data using the image processing system here at the Captain Astronomical Institute. Another activity of mine was making films for Dutch TV, mostly educational pieces about astronomy. Well, one day the inevitable happened. Image processing got combined with films, and the result was Holland's first very crude computer animation. Well, we were very naive in those days. We believed that polygons were something only of interest to dead Greeks, and ray tracing was obviously a scheme for finding missing sharks. Well, computer imaging has come a long way in Groningen. Many of the animations made here have been seen weekly on Dutch national television, and a whole center for education and research has been established here. In point of fact, this obscure burg in the northern part of the Netherlands is the national center for computer graphics. Now, the Dutch are big on national centers. It's a favorite pastime of theirs. After all, the country is physically small, even if morally large, and it's not always possible to diffuse expertise over various organizations and schools. In Groningen, we're pleased to have the Rijkse Hogeschool, or Polytechnic Institute, with about 1,000 staff members and roughly 8 times that many students. Now, the Polytechnic provides education in the professions, for example, physical therapy, nursing, social work, teacher training, computer programming, and a whole lot more. One of the important departments of the Polytechnic is the Academie Minerva, or the Minerva Academy. That's the school for the visual arts, for music, and for architecture. Well, about 3 years ago, Academie Minerva, which is located downtown in a building which reminds me of the baths of Caracalla in the good old days, together with the Polytechnic Institute and a few of us here at the university, came together to form SCAN. SCAN being an unlikely acronym which in Dutch stands for Foundation for Computer Animation. Now, SCAN is the umbrella organization for computer animation, both research and education here in the Netherlands. No doubt you'll have a chance to tour their facilities later in the week and perhaps sample some of their industrial-grade coffee. Well, enough gum beating about organizations. You're no doubt anxious to have the real meat of this conference thrown into your cage. But first, a few words about an area of personal expertise, Groningen by night. Groningen may be unknown, but it's not without its attractions. The population here is comparable to that of Geneva, in number if not in mentality. There are tens of thousands of unwashed students milling about the streets, and I urge you to step into any one of the many dozens of cafes here in the city and avail yourself of a beer and some lively conversation. When the cafes close, it's around 2 a.m., you might want to step outside and have a snack of French fries or any one of the breaded geometric forms, which you can haul out of the ubiquitous wall-mounted vending machines here in the city. It will help you appreciate your own national cuisine that much more. Indeed, the heart of Groningen never stops beating. The center of town is a hub of non-stop excitement. I dare to say there's more social life here than is good for your health. And maybe that's why I've decided to avoid the danger of nightlife overdose and send you this tape instead of me. Enjoy the symposium. I think I'm going to fix myself a glass of warm milk. Hi, back again for a minute. Just to prove to you that not all effects are best done via the computer, here's a short film I made about a dozen years ago to try and improve Dutch-American relations by blowing up Groningen's famous Martini Tower. Cost of this effect? Well, less than the price of a lunch.